So welcome back to another driveway, and today I think it's about time to get started on messing around with the exhaust section. So we're going to attempt to make our own log manifolds from one side, from the driver's side, passing over in front and going in to the passenger side and into the turbo. So it's going to be a lot of fun and probably a few swear words, but anyways, that's what we plan on doing today, and hopefully it works out well for us. Alright, so the further I get into this project, the less and less anyone's going to be able to copy this, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I don't think there's too many people that want to copy this, but anyways, there's this section down here by the turbo that's kind of, in a way, getting kind of in the way of what I want to be able to move around. So like there's this stupid section here. This serves no purpose other than to just be there. It's like it's just there for structure for some other box attachment. So I believe what I'm going to do is cut out a portion of that so I can pound it in and kind of flatten it out so I have a little bit better spot for the turbo to sit. It's like it's really close, but I want about a 1/2 inch movement for when I actually make the log manifold, because sometimes that doesn't turn out exactly where you want it to, and instead of chopping it up and trying to redo it, just scooting it over will probably be a much better solution. So I'm gonna hack that out of the way and see what we have when we get back. Alright, so this area is all clearanced out, and now it's time to start tacking in the elbows here. Now I'm trying to get them at a little bit of an angle, but I don't want too much of an angle that I start having an issue with getting the spark plug boots on. I don't need to be burning out spark plug wires every trip I make. Well, it's one of those things where, hypothetically speaking, they should all be on there, but I don't know, let's give them another tack here. There, that's enough to be able to pull it out and take a look. look about right. Alright, so now that I got everything tacked up, I made this jig here to mount the flange to try to keep it from bowing. I got these holes here so I can put the nuts on the inside. So I guess all that's left now is just zapping her into place and moving from there. It's time to get zapping. Alright, so there's our first one. Did some massaging of our elbows to get what I want to see. And then this guy locks down on there, as you can see there. And then this little piece of an elbow goes right up in here. Helps if I got this thing flopped over to the right side here. And voila. Zap that all together. So, what does that look like? Well, let's go run over the car and see what it does look like. Alright, so more or less that thing's in there. And this guy will just sit right on up there. Should be plenty. I plan on getting making an elbow that'll turn out a little bit here, come over here, and just kind of go around. That should clear all our belts and attachments for that type of thing. So maybe out, come down here, thinking maybe I just want to dump down, come doors over here, and then I'll go up through there. So I'm thinking the one over here will be at an upwards angle to get around the water pump. But that's kind of what we're looking at here. It's like what I'm thinking I'm going to end up doing is, with the spark plugs being here, I might end up having slightly longer runs and making sure I have this heavily wrapped and heat shielded and just come around. That would probably be the easiest. But there's plenty of room there, so I shouldn't worry about burning down the house. Alright, well this is the passenger side. So that's where that guy is going to hook onto. We're going to have to hog out these holes, and then we'll be just about set. Now this piece, I didn't have, and the local shop didn't have any like 2.5, so I got a 3-inch and then ovalized it. That way I have more clearance in between the engine and so on and so forth. That, and it also makes it so transitioning from 2-inch to this will be a lot closer. And that also means that this guy will fit a lot better when we get the flange. So this way it's already bent that way. So we'll be getting there. All right, so I guess I'm going to chuck up the hole saw and get a good bit of this cut out. And then we'll just grab the die grinders and hog it out to size. Okay, so I thought I was done for the day, but I still had a little bit of heat left. So I may as well have used the heat that I can. So I pre-drilled some holes. That one's hot. That way. We got the start. We should be good to go from there. Now I'll have to finish hogging these out to about the size that they need to be. And then start welding this thing up. Okay. So it's starting to get cold out here, so I'm gonna go inside and call it a day and pick this up tomorrow or the weekend. Alright, so we got this section pretty much done. Got it all ported out. That way it kind of sits right up in here. Make sure we get her readjusted again. That's just going to have to be good enough. So yeah, I guess we can just pretty much fire up the welder and blast it right here. Kind of wanted to burn it in there so it didn't walk around on me as I'm zapping her in. So I guess I'll zap this up and we'll bring you back when it's done. Alright, so we got the most recent one here. We'll come through later and hit it with the big sander. But it's back on the jig piece to keep it straight again, because just in welding this elbow and these things tacked, it did pull it out of alignment by about 1/8 of an inch. So anyways, here's the other one. That turned out pretty decent. We'll see if my oval experiment works out. Still slightly worried that having quite a bit of pressure in here and generating a lot of heat will turn it back round. But worst thing that happens is it turns around and I've got a round pipe. But anyways, I would say I'm not a welder, but that's looking pretty darn good. All right, so now I'm gonna have to wait for this thing to cool so I can touch it, and then we'll be able to mount it up onto the car and then see what type of elbows we gotta create to connect everything. All right, so that guy's in there. It's not too bad. We'll just have to figure out how to actually make that bend around. Like even something as dumb as that will probably actually work. And this guy over here, it's looking pretty decent. I probably should have come up with a little better way to get the bolts in there, but no worse than some of the headers I've seen. The main thing I was aiming for is I had to get around that sensor, and coming down it's like going down wasn't going to get me very far because of that steering box. But it's looking pretty decent there. Should be clear of everything. Once we have header wrap around there, it shouldn't fry plug-ins. But that's probably all I'm going to end up doing this time around. Gonna have to get a couple V-bands and start working on the crossover. But yeah, making progress. So hopefully next time we can get the crossover made. Alright, well, like I said before, this is going to be it for this episode. I've done a lot of work, ate up a lot of time trying to do all this type of stuff, and it kind of sucks down the time, so we're going to call it here just to avoid working on it for a month straight for one video. But anyways, see how we do the crossover and into the turbine next time. It's probably going to be a lot of pie cut style bends, because actual bends for these type of things, if you buy the like Weldales locally, are insanely expensive. And yeah, shipping doesn't help you much either. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll catch you next time. Later.